Of course, when the news hit, I was in complete and utter shock that he did do it. I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know what to feel. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if I'd be an illegal immigrant suddenly, or as they describe people like us, aliens. Yeah, so it was very devastating news. Like, it might not be on their radar in the same kind of way. But Harvard has reached out to us. They've expressed their support for international students. They've told us that they will stand with international students and deploy their resources in this fight, which I deeply appreciate. And the Harvard International Office has also reassured us that they can support us with any questions that we have. Next month, which will be very interesting. I did actually go there last summer. I think that the point where people begin to self-silence is a very dangerous path. When people start to self-silence, we are no longer living in democracy. And for me, it's absolutely critical that I voice my opinion so that we preserve these values that America is founded on. In fact, the ideals of freedom and rights. Language. So I might try and do that with Danish. I can speak and I can understand, but I'm not very good at writing. So Harvard has generally decided to stand up. I think this was never an option for them. They had to stand up. They symbolize a really big pillar of higher education in the United States, and they've made the right decision. They've chosen to be on the right side of history, and that's the only way you can deal with someone like Trump. He will make demand after demand. One demand will turn into three, and three will turn into five, and it will keep going endlessly until you eventually choose to stand up. For sponsor student visas, including all international student visas that want to open. We're being used like pawns in a game that we have no control of, and we're being caught in this crossfire between the White House and Harvard. And it feels incredibly dehumanizing, and I really, really keep my fingers crossed for the whole international community, because they're currently having a very bad experience with what's going on.
We've made a lot of progress, and we'll see. You know, they still have to agree to the. Well, we're going to see. Look, Harvard has been a disaster. They've taken $5 billion plus. $5 billion. Nobody knew that they were making this cut. If we didn't do this, we would have never found this out, Pam. They're taking $5 billion. And I'd rather see that money go to trade schools. And by the way, they're totally anti-Semitic at Harvard, as you know, and some other colleges too, in all fairness to them. And it's been exposed, very exposed. And I think they're dealing very badly. Every time they fight, they lose another $250 million. Yesterday, we found another $100 million. And they have, you know, they have a fund, an endowment, $52 billion. All right? They get a lot of that from the United States. Frankly, it's too big, much too big.
When can we expect that to be the Air Force One?
And I think it's ridiculous. I think this, everyone's coming up to me saying, we love the idea of trade schools. With that kind of money, and money from others, but money from them, you can have the best trade schools anywhere in the world. You give them to Iowa, Indiana, lots of good states, well-run states, and you give them the money. They can only be used for trade schools, and they'll teach people how to build motors and cars and AI. You know, the AI, we're building plants, we're building hundreds of billions of dollars worth of AI plants, already started, many of them. We've never had a boom like we're having now. You're going to see it. There's never been anything like it. Schools anywhere in the world, you give them to Iowa, Indiana. Why? You know, these countries aren't helping us. They're not investing in Harvard and all of our, we are. So why would 31%, why would a number so big? I think, number one, I think they should have a cap of maybe around 15%, not 31%. We have people who want to go to Harvard and other schools. They can't get in because we have foreign students there. But I want to make sure that the foreign students are people that can love our country. Thank you. Good luck, everybody.
Quelle school? Je sais pas. Faudrait que je regarde. For me, personally, it's a land of research of the greatest universities, and so as England, for example, but America more on that extent for me, and so searching for a good university, I directly went to the US and to look at a university there, and so it would be a privilege for me to go there, to study and to gain experience and to share knowledge between my university and Harvard, Harvard being one of the greatest in the world.